ABC Durant podcast. I'm Garrett.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Sarah.
And as we continue the Christian Living Friends and Family series, we have two incredibly special guests today. Pastor Garry McNeill and the First Lady,
I was
Heather
about to
McNeill.
call you that. I'm not kidding.
He was about to?
Yes,
Yeah.
if you didn't bring it up.
Absolutely.
First, hey, I don't
First
want
lady.
that. I don't want her getting that little confident after this.
Well, we're about to kill that confidence as we start a new game. Yes, not first takes, but a new game. The Not So Newlywed Game. I'm going to provide a question towards the husbands first. Wives will answer. The men will try to guess what answer the wives would provide. Make sense?
Everybody writes down?
Yes, everybody's writing.
Okay.
All right, here we go. First question. What is something your husband thinks they're good at that they're really not? I'm nervous for you currently.
I don't know what she's gonna put on this, but I'm gonna put something that she might put. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I asked Tawny this just out of interest last night, and she said, "Oh, okay."
What about this?
Also, while they're writing, we have Cole and Sarah Hughes, which you guys already know, but it's our other married couple. We'll start with Sarah on the outside.
Okay. I put fashion.
Oh.
Here's the problem. He is honestly good at everything he tries to do. So I had to kind of guess a little bit here.
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh,
He said that's fine.
he's fine.
Ethan.
That's fine.
He's fine.
I think Cole has good drip, just saying.
Yeah. You know, I'm just saying I've had
here's
heavy
the thing.
influence. That's all I'm saying.
She may be saying that because she's choosing the drip. Nobody might be knowing that.
Right,
part of
right.
it.
According to what you would dress him in.
Right.
We have that same issue at my house. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
I would
First
say
lady?
handyman work.
Handyman work. All right.
Okay.
But I know I'm terrible at that.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Cole's too humble. He doesn't think he's good at anything.
Okay, let's see. Cole, how did you match up with the answer? Did we match?
So, my answer is kind of hits what Heather put for Gary. I put DIY
Okay.
on mine / handyman work.
Okay.
Which stands for
Do it yourself.
donuts in. Okay.
Donuts
You'll
in
do it
your
yourself.
mouth.
Yo, man.
Your mouth. You said
Donut in
donuts in your mouth.
Your mouth.
Your mouth.
I'm good at that one.
Apostrophe mouth. Yeah, I can crush that. It's easy. All right, let's see if you got a match, Gary. Gift giving
Okay.
buying.
That's a good get. That's good.
I have
Good
thought
answer.
I had some
Good
really
answer.
good gift ideas, trip ideas, experience ideas, things, and she has just slapped them down and crushed my heart several times.
Hey, but that
in
was
our marriage.
early in our marriage.
Oh, that keeps going.
She thinks he's like,
Still there.
"Wise."
There's
You're
time.
still crushing my heart
There's
every
still
time.
All right. Well, next one here. What is a habit your husband has that annoys you the most? Give him a second to write. Got some immediate answers. Should we go Sarah, then Cole, Heather, then Gary? Would that make more sense? Okay.
That works. Either way.
You ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Sarah's gonna give us a show here.
All right. Chewing loudly.
Yes. I just put chewing,
Cool.
but
Matched it.
I had a feeling we were going to match on
1
that one.
point.
Matchy.
I don't know if we're keeping score,
Wow.
but don't keep score.
Got the
marriage.
match.
You
All right,
ready?
I'm
Heather.
glad we got one match in there.
Watching TV shows and looking at his face.
Oh. Did we get a match?
So we have to
Rats.
rewind or we have to
Gary's erasing.
explain.
Well, to start with, I'm terrible at watching a show anyway, and I don't catch up with the plot very good.
Yeah.
So, like, neighborhood children explain shows to me when they're walking by. Hey, have you ever seen Stranger Things? I have no idea what's going on. What's happening in the Inside Out? So to start with,
The inside,
and then
Inside Out.
the
that's
inside
what I
out
call
is
it.
sending me.
It's another great movie.
And so anyway, yeah, I'm guilty. But I put cleaning the kitchen subpar.
Okay.
I
That's
like to
another
cook, but my cleaning is not up to her
I
standard.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Left to be desired.
But you
Okay.
do clean, so
I do
Hey,
try.
that's a plus. Count that.
And I do cook.
I knew
far
that
as
we
a
were going to
marriage.
pass on that one because
All right, here we
that's
go.
like numero
We'll
uno.
lighten it up a little bit here.
I'm not doing very good so far, dude.
Here we go. What song would you have? Oh, I'm sorry. What song would have the best chance at making your husband dance? That rhymed.
Should I
That
know
was.
this?
I don't know because I
Why
don't
are
know.
you looking at me like
I don't
that?
know.
I know, dude. He doesn't even know. How am I supposed
I
to
don't
know?
even know what it's called, but I'm just going to put down a line
Okay.
from it.
I'm glad that he had a quick answer though. That's good.
I just.
I do not have a quick
yeah.
answer for this one.
I think I want to see Cole dance.
Yeah, is there a song out there that'll really
Have you ever
get me
danced?
dancing?
Has Cole danced?
I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, it's probably happened at some point in life.
It's a really long song, but it's a great song. You like the song even if you don't answer
Do
it.
you like this song?
I like the
All
song.
right,
Okay, so yeah, it's
That
about
was
matching.
kind
that.
of
Okay.
cheating.
that was kind of cheating.
They're just putting in a song Sarah likes.
There's no way it's the same thing, but I like it.
Dude, if it's the same thing, it's gonna be crazy though.
There's no way.
Sarah,
This
let's
one
go.
feels
Say it.
relevant.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Everybody wants to rule the
That's a
world.
great song. It's like,
Shut
By
up
who?
and
Why do I
dance
not-
with me.
Yes, that's a great one to dance to. To be
I
honest.
never danced that song. That's hilarious.
But hey,
That was a tough one.
Can
It's
we
a good
just play
song,
this
right?
game the whole time?
I think
yeah,
so.
this would be a great
I
episode.
think people would listen.
Yeah, honestly.
Good thing to do.
Maybe that's for later time.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going.
1 hour of the Not So Newlywed Game. I would have a
And
ball.
people are done watching
That's
now.
our bonus episode for our hardcore fans.
That's right.
Deep
Hardcore.
cut.
On the
Hey,
dark
The
web.
Patreon subscribers.
Okay,
there.
I couldn't remember the name of the song,
Okay.
but it's the Chip and Rod song,
Chip
Uh-oh.
and Rod song.
which is probably part 2 of our segment of.
Things we don't share on the podcast.
Podcast after dark.
It was just
Another dark
Patreon
web
also.
episode.
it was just a group that used to dance in
What was that
college.
song
Okay.
we did? We came in and did the
not
train.
convinced.
What's it called? It's not the one on my board. I'll tell you that.
It was a 70s song.
The song is hard because it's like so many songs.
I don't know what it's called.
forget
my number.
Milli Vanilli.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good
See, it
one.
did it.
Don't forget my, what did you say it is?
Completed.
Don't forget my number.
Very cool.
No,
Nice, I love it.
Remember?
So,
I almost put September by
DJ
Earth,
Lance,
Wind, and Fire.
11:15 service. See if we can pull up.
DJ
Don't forget
Lance.
my number. All right, very cool. Now we're gonna flip it to the ladies, and these questions will be addressed to the men about their wives, and the ladies will guess, see if they can figure out the same answer.
All right.
Okay, what's your wife's TV guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure.
Did
be
you not,
careful.
did you
I feel like
not
I
already
need to write
write
two.
something?
I wrote something.
Can we write two or just one?
Very holy answers.
I think this is a pretty good guilty
Do
pleasure
one, maybe
TV
double
show.
match, maybe a bonus point.
Double match. Okay, I'm
Oh,
going double
I
match.
feel like a good guilty
If I
pleasure
double match,
TV show for me.
because we didn't get any points last time.
Okay, yeah, you can catch up.
Okay, you ready?
There's no way. No.
Yeah, go for it. Gary's got
Y'all go
his.
first.
Heather? Whoa!
I don't even
Gilmore
answer
Girls
this.
and Harry
One.
Potter.
I just split back and
Boom.
forth.
The way y'all got it like so good is
Yeah.
really
Yesterday-
simple.
Yesterday,
Plus one,
as
yeah.
Heather went from Gilmore Girls into Harry Potter, I said, "Did you just straight roll from Gilmore Girls right into Harry Potter?"
Yeah. How
She
does-
says, "Yes, I did."
How does
Okay.
the brain make
So
that switch?
Sarah likes Gilmore Girls. I don't know if I fit that under guilty pleasure or not. Okay, anyways, I'm ready. I got one written down.
Guilty pleasure to me is giving like oof cringe that I'm watching this. But hold up, guys,
Alright.
because my
That's the way
writing
my
is so
answer
bad.
is.
I don't
What
think
if
I'd
I
be.
cringe when she watches Gilmore Girls? Does that count?
They're talking so fast.
Have
Sorry,
you
everyone.
erased your answer a few times and or if
has.
you
Yeah, I've got two answers on here.
Okay.
We'll just see what happens.
Go for it, Cole.
what does that say?
The Summer I Turned Pretty, Love is Blind.
Oh, okay. I put Love is
LIV.
Blind / parentheses reality TV.
Okay, okay,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
I'm trying to think of things where I'm like, oh, I'm
Okay.
cringing that I watched that. It's Love is Blind. Hey, so we did match.
There it is.
LIB. That's Love is Blind. I just want y'all to know that it's not lib.
Not library. Not a reference for library. All right, very cool. Okay, what is the most random thing you would find in your wife's bag / purse?
And I just have no idea.
Most
The
random.
most
even
random
know.
thing. Oh gosh.
Most random.
This probably could be a kid affiliated. Maybe.
Cole would
I'm
have
thinking about my
never stepped a hand in my bag. I can tell you that right now.
That's right. Not to.
Beware. I have had the, hey, will you grab this out of my bag? And like, the mystery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had those moments.
Gary drew a stick figure. I'm just kidding. That's fair.
Restate the question one more time.
What's the
Well,
most
it's
random
going
thing
dry.
you might find in your wife's
Yeah, I'm having
bag / purse?
Could you give me the origin of the word, please?
Definition, please.
I'd like you to use it in a sentence.
No, thank you.
Gosh. Okay.
Gary, you ready to reveal?
Yeah, I'm just guessing. Hair clip.
Expired candy.
Oh, that's fair.
Ooh.
Both in
ready?
there. For
Actually,
sure.
I am
found some
not
today. It was
ready.
Okay, we'll
Both
get
are in
ready.
there.
Okay.
Did you see one?
All right.
For real.
So we're saying this will be a long shot on actually
ready?
guessing the same
That's a
thing.
ridiculous
Go
answer.
for
1,
it.
2,
Go for it, Cole.
3. Wait, I want to see. Yeah.
Expired candy.
I did the happy and snack.
Yes, that's.
No,
close.
no.
Did you
We
just
don't
steal
get
my
point,
answer?
but in
I
the
stole
spirit
Heather's
of
answer because she was onto something,
That's true.
and I thought it was actually a pretty good fit because I
That's
had nothing
fair.
else in my brain.
Yeah, me neither. I couldn't
Happy
come
and
up with
snack.
anything there.
All right, here we go. So the question is,
It's fitting.
what item of clothing would you like to burn of your husband's?
already answered.
She has it.
Easy.
Answer locked.
I feel like I still have this item, but I don't really wear it anymore because it's not worth wearing. But
Gotta get, yeah.
That's the one.
It's firewood
Probably.
Have you
now.
written anything down, Heather?
I know Tawny's right now.
What is it? I need
Like
you
the
to share
color.
that while we're
I
I
can
can know
share
what she would
while
answer.
waiting. I have a pair of cropped sweatpants that I like. Actually, a couple pair, and she hates them. Matter of fact, Jude makes fun of me too. But she calls them my gauchos.
Well,
Well,
Sarah, you ready?
That's-
Yeah, I'm
Go
ready.
for it.
Cut off sweat shorts.
cut off sweats.
Sweatpants, bro. I love that it's the exact
Same
same
thing.
thing
It
as
is.
yours. That's sending me.
She's like, I get it. Get rid of that.
Nothing like putting scissors
Yes!
to your clothes.
Hey, that was a good question because we
What
all
was that
got
one,
it
Heather?
right.
The lounge, the
on.
pajama pants.
The lounge
The
pants.
lounge
lounge
Perfect.
pants.
We're syncing
Dang.
up.
pretty fire. I
Hey, we
think.
synced up right
We're
there.
syncing
We all
up.
got it right.
We
That was a
ended
good
on
one to
one
end
we all
on.
matched on.
That's
How
right.
about that?
I know
No
what
way.
Gary would get rid of mine.
Oh, what would Cole get rid of mine? Wait,
That's
what
what
is
I
it?
thought. I thought that would be way harder on the men because I can.
The crop
Think of anything.
sweatpants are sending me because I had already had that written down when you said that
Yeah.
about Tawny, and I'm like,
She'll appreciate
Like
that.
mines.
Still ain't going anywhere, but
you
All
don't
right.
wear them that much anymore, but they are diabolical.
So, glad to finish on everybody got a win at the end there. But we're going to move into hearing a little bit more about Gary and Heather, how you guys met, maybe your dating life into marriage, and how life has changed since being married to one another. Yeah, jump in there. Let's hear about it.
Okay. So I went to college at Northwestern Oklahoma
out.
State University in Alva in the fall of 1995 after graduating from the illustrious Garber High School,
Right on.
20 miles east
Garber
of Enid.
Wolverines?
We were the Wolverines.
Oh, wow.
There's
Yeah,
no curves
Wolverine is a strong mascot.
It is.
Good one. So anyway, I get to college, and I was there, I think, 3 years. I finished my junior year when Heather showed up, I think. It was my senior year that Heather showed up.
there. It was a fall of '98.
And so I graduated in 99. And Heather had changed majors a couple times and stuff, so she graduated a little bit after me. But we were really good friends. And all of our friends teased us and told us that we liked each other and we needed to date, but we were not having it.
Okay.
And so we resisted that idea. And then there was this summer of 1999, Heather. I had just graduated,
Yes.
and Heather and her friends, they were all at our graduation, and we hung out a lot. And she went on a mission trip for that summer. And I was dating another girl who was also on a mission trip, but Heather would call me, and her mom had told me Heather was kind of depressed, and I'd
that
call
was
her.
2001. That was 2001.
99 you were at Falls Creek, sorry. 99 she was at Falls Creek, and she would call me from the payphones at Falls Creek. And she would
Yeah.
That's how
say,
unk we are.
Fight for the.
she
Yeah,
would
Uncle
say things to me. I got my summers confused. She would say things to me like, I just called because I wanted to hear your voice. And then like at the end of the conversation,
Scandal.
she would say, I love you, Gary. And I'd be like, I love you too, Heather. So like I was ready to shoot my shot when she got back.
So y'all were pre-dropping the L
I'm
word?
sorry, this is literally
No,
so
no.
dating?
Heather,
This is
Heather
actually
explained. I want to be vindicated through this
That's like
podcast.
record time before you even started.
We were
Lord,
friends.
Lord willing, we will have at least tens and tens of listeners who will be on my side.
And I just
From
want to
this.
say quickly, I rebuke friends acting this way unless you're. I'm talking to college students every day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if you were telling somebody you love them, you better be dating.
So what it did was it
But it
made me
worked out for
think
y'all.
that
Yeah.
it made
This
me
is
think
hilarious.
that she wanted to date me, right? And so she claims,
Cannot wait
no,
to hear
that's
this.
what everybody says. I said, no, they
Signals are
don't.
perfectly clear.
I'm on
My
the edge
other
of my
friends weren't
seat.
saying that to me. And so she comes back from the summer, and I ask her to, like, one night we're hanging out at the Wesley Center. We'd hang out at the BCM, and it would close, and the Wesley Center stayed open all night. So we'd go over there and hang out. And I asked her if she'd talk to me, and I think she knew it was coming. She's like, I'm tired. I got to go. And I was like, no, please. And so I told her all the reasons I want to date her and asked her to date me, and she's like, no. So,
Very clean.
so I got
Throwing the
rejected.
It wasn't you, it was me.
Yeah, that's right. I got rejected, and then we went through another year or two of like just awkwardness, and we went through a phase where like we were kind of angry with each other and mean to each other, and then she, I started dating a girl after that, and that's when Heather kind of started liking me, and so we just didn't like each other at the same time.
Okay.
And so then there was, what was it, 2001, Heather? Summer of 2001? That she, no, fall of 2001, that she told me like September. We'd gone to a Saw You at the Pole rally, led worship at an outdoor Saw You at the Pole rally in Winoka, Oklahoma. And Heather claims this was not set up. It was just her and I together in the vehicle on the way home because the rest of the band found other rides mysteriously.
They left me
And
there.
she told me
I needed a ride.
on the way home, she said a lot of stuff. And then she said, I'm crazy about you.
Whoa.
And I was like,
I love that.
Yes.
yes.
Dude, I'm
You
loving
say
this
your
story.
piece,
Why haven't I heard
So
this?
so she said my magic words, but I had a girlfriend. And so I said to her,
That's why she said it.
I said
Scandal
to her,
again.
I said to her,
That's why she said
Like, I don't know the
it. She was
ending.
protected. It was secure.
Sarah's like, how will this end?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
How will it end? A couple of broke
don't feel the
dudes
same
raising children. So then I said,
tell.
this is very welcome news, but kind of at an unwelcome time. That was my exact words back. And so we drove around. We drove around the square downtown Alva several times. I was being kind of goofy, and we talked. And then, anyway, that was in September, and we started dating at the end of November.
Awesome.
And then we were married the next December, 13 months later.
Very cool.
But just a long friendship with a lot of ups and downs. And when we finally started dating, everybody was like, finally.
Yeah,
They
for
just
real.
finally got it over with. We all knew this for 3 years. You know?
Yep.
That is affirming.
Okay, so we don't have to spend long on this, but what was dating like for y'all? The dating phase?
You know, I don't remember a whole lot except that, I mean, as far as we got along really well. Heather, when we started dating in November, did you graduate in December or in May?
Nah, I didn't graduate until May of 2003. Because
So-
remember, I took a semester off before we.
Yeah, so I just
married.
can't remember how all that works. You took a semester off while we were waiting to get married, right? And then you went on the block and did your student teaching after we got married, right?
Yeah.
So she was the 6 months right before we got married, she was the interim secretary at First Baptist Church Cherokee.
Okay.
And so we went to work together every day. That was fun. And she lived in a house across town in Cherokee.
That was a true test.
And then she got to do her student teaching in Cherokee right after we got married for the
But
semester. after
dating
we
was
got
just,
married.
I mean, it just, we had been such good friends that
Yep.
it was just like being best friends,
Yeah.
hanging out all the time.
It was a little weird for me the first probably 3 months that we dated because we had been such good friends.
Yeah, that's
It's like when people go, how do you move from being friends to being like romantically? You know, we were such good pals. It was like we were moving into a new phase
Yeah.
of the romantic interest. And But we led worship together at the BCM on Thursday nights.
cool.
That was kind of where we first started hanging out together and playing music together. And Heather started coming to church at Cherokee and started getting to know the people there and the kids there. So
I will say too.
we were a little older though, so it wasn't like we were 20.
Yeah, that's true.
Dating,
Okay.
I was like 24, almost 25 when we
Okay.
got married.
That's right.
And
And
I
what
don't
year y'all get
remember
married?
Or I was 25.
What-
Wait, married.
What
I
year?
was 25 when we got
December
married.
2002.
2002.
So I was 25 and like almost 26 when we got married.
Okay.
So we were a little older. Heather was almost 25 when we got married.
Yeah. And I don't remember what summer it was that I surrendered to ministry.
99.
99. Yeah.
You called me from the payphones at Fall Street.
that's right.
Oh, wow.
Told me you surrendered to ministry.
I
and I was
just-
like on the other side of the phone
And he was
saying,
already in ministry, and I was kind of picking his brain about it a little bit, just like, that feeling of like, I've surrendered to ministry. I know God has called me to do something, and then the fear of like, are you sending me overseas? Like, am I going to be a missionary in a place I've never been? All
I was
these
like,
things.
yes, Bryan County.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to be a missionary.
She
Bryan County.
said, "Hey, bestie, I surrendered to ministry."
So you're
love
sprinting
you.
across the fields to the
I
payphone.
would
so
like
you
to-
never get-
I would like to throw in there. I would like to throw in there just for fun one time. We'll see how the response is. There was one really painful moment in our friendship where we were talking on the phone, because we talked on the phone a lot.
Yeah.
And she was telling me about a guy that she really liked. And I made the mistake of thinking maybe it was me.
Oh.
Like she was going to do the thing like,
Ruh-roh,
it's you.
bragging.
And then at the end, she's like, yeah. And so it's so-and-so. And I was just like,
Dang.
so yeah, she, it's a good thing she's been
She was
good
weighing
to
her
my
options.
heart for the
Yeah.
last 25 years, because
Make up for.
she wounded it a couple of times.
To my defense,
hard
though,
times.
you were kind of a big deal. Like, Gary was like, everybody,
Gary's big deal
he
McNeill.
could play
Some
the
things never
guitar and
change.
sing, and everybody knew him at Northwestern.
He's him.
What were the top 10
we say.
senior, and everybody knew Gary. And so I was kind of like, I mean, he's my friend. I just don't, there were thoughts. I was like, I don't think he'll date me. I don't know if he'll date me.
Other
Gary
than
Big
the
Deal
fact that I
McNeill,
had
that's what we
already
always
asked
call
you to date me.
That's true. He did lay it out.
But then after, when I
Imposter
turned you
syndrome.
down, I was like, yeah, I don't know if he'll date me. But I just got my way back in there.
There you go.
That was my joke always. I said, she came crawling back to daddy.
Do not say
And I only said that to tease
Daddy
her
is sending
afterward.
me.
You know,
I love
this.
yeah.
Wash
That's
his
great.
face.
But I was very, very happy that she expressed her love for me. I was thrilled. It was a no-brainer. The minute she said it, I was just like, how do I get to that point?
Yeah.
Get out of
We
it.
can be
Yeah.
together.
Very cool. So dating, it's one of those things. Tawny and I look back and we're like, I would never go back and do the dating thing again. I mean, there's a lot of sweet times, like establishing that friendship to beyond friendship, which is pretty special. It's like you're really good friends, and then all of a sudden you're in public and people are aware, and that friendship just continues to grow in a lot of ways. And then you carry that friendship into marriage. What was that transition like for you guys? Taking this strong friendship, almost, I guess y'all worked together at some point too, and then even in like worship ministry, all that. But now it's being thrown into marriage. You live together, doing life 24/7. What was any type of change that you realized or remember now?
You know, I hate to say that it's so long ago I might not remember some of those adjustments. I do remember the first semester that we were married, Heather had a difficult semester student teaching. It wasn't ideal for her to be working with a band director because she was a vocal music person. But Cherokee had an opening with the band director, and
okay.
Cherokee's band program wasn't very established, or anything.
Yeah.
And so there was just some lack of experience, and maybe not experience from the director, but of the school to know how to do it and everything. And so I just remember that being a hard semester for
Yeah.
her. So a lot of her coming home just trying to get through the semester. What do you remember about it, honey?
Yeah, I remember that too. I just feel when we finally got to live together, because I realized after graduating and being engaged and everyone moving off and living by myself for 6 months, I guess.
First time you'd ever lived by yourself?
First time I'd ever lived by myself, and I
She
absolutely hated it.
going home at
Never
night.
lived by
Hated it.
myself.
And so I remember just the security I felt, I guess, of finally getting to live
Yeah.
with my best friend.
Yeah.
and then having that hard semester and getting to come home to him and having that, I don't know, it was just a security. And then being in the community, one of the reasons I did stay in the community was because we were, in ministry together.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to be there and close to the youth group and close to the church, and we were very close to the church.
Yeah, we lived in a parsonage that's not there anymore at Cherokee, but Heather was a great help in ministry to me. Having her right there with me all the time was awesome, and she ministered and connected to a lot of girls that we're still friends with, many of which are adult leaders in the church at Cherokee now.
Yeah.
Much like we have students that were in our youth ministry before that are adult leaders in the church now. So that's pretty awesome. Another thing I would say is I do remember that the adjustment of Heather particularly. So my mother was my hero, but it's a little different with a guy. She didn't have a lot of influence on my day-to-day life. Heather was pretty close to her mom, and there was a lot of day-to-day best friend. So there was that adjustment of, my mother-in-law, Susan, who is really good to us and we enjoy so much now, but she had to adjust to kind of, quote-unquote, losing her best friend, right?
Yeah.
And so there was an adjustment period there there were times when I had to ask Heather, hey, I need you to prioritize me over your parents. And it felt a little unfair for me to ask that at times because I didn't have that same daily connection to my family.
Yeah.
My dad and I weren't close like that, And again, Mom was working 2 and 3 jobs still, hustling, but always there for us when we needed her. But that was a big adjustment. I felt like.
And now as a mother, I can kind of almost feel, just that having to detach and let, because she'd always say, no, you guys have got to be a married couple and blah. But then so
A little harder.
So I can kind of feel more now how she had to have felt.
Well, I felt like we were trying and Susan was trying. I didn't feel like anybody was not doing the right thing. It's just difficult to reestablish the priorities once you get married.
And of course, then we moved from Cherokee to Durant, and they live in Oklahoma City, so it wasn't any closer to them when we moved.
And it was a lot further from my mother.
Yeah.
My mother was not happy when we moved to Durant. She didn't try to keep us from going, but she said, I want my grandkids to know me.
Yeah.
That was her plea.
Y'all are,
And they did.
yeah, absolutely.
We had a lot of good people around us that, believe it or not, our closest friends in Cherokee were not even our age. They were probably parents of youth and stuff that we would go hang out and eat dinner, and just how they mentored us and loved us, and just kind of got to walk with them and watch them in their marriage and watch them raise their kids. And
that's right.
That's huge. So y'all are talking Bible without quoting anything. I mean, we're talking leaving and cleaving.
Law of priority.
Becoming one. I mean,
right, yeah.
It's just real life, and it just kind of plays itself out that way.
It does.
There's this almost overnight. I remember Tawny going through nursing school, and it was super hard on her. And we'd be talking on the phone, but when we get off the phone, it's like, good luck with nursing school. But then when you're married, and now she's a nurse, she's coming home with everything she's dealing with, and we're working through the hard stuff together all the time. And so there's a real quick mesh integration of our physical, mental, spiritual lives immediately. And it I think it's part of shaping us into who God wants us to be, part of our sanctification process, looking more like Jesus. How has marriage influenced your faith, and then maybe vice versa? How has faith influenced your marriage? That makes sense.
Okay.
Or what has it meant to your faith, and what has faith meant to your marriage?
So I definitely want to answer that, but I want to back up to something I didn't say. I made light of this in a sermon one time, but I think I had repressed some of the difficulties of my childhood for myself, and so it led me to kind of not bring them up to Heather until some of the key events of trauma in my childhood, until we were on the way to our first pre-marriage counseling session, which was a long drive. It was from Cherokee to Paul's Valley?
Paul's Valley, or Norman.
I think we went to Paul's Valley that time.
Oh, maybe so.
And anyway, so that was another part of the adjustment, was me trying to come to grips with some of the pain from my childhood and made sure that I was open with Heather about it. And
Yeah.
she didn't begrudge me for it, but I was just like, I promise I wasn't trying to keep it from you.
Yeah.
It's not what you lead with when you go on a first date. Like, let me tell you all the crimes my family committed.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you want to start, you know?
Take some life together
That's
for
how
it to
I started.
pop up too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it takes a moment for that realization to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're bringing everything, your whole life experience into this, and it's not like you can rewind and replay the tape of like, this is what my life has looked up to
That's
this
right.
point.
No,
and
yeah.
That should explain myself to you.
So it's how well you can express the videotape of your life.
Yeah, it's just
You know?
coming out day by day in the way you.
And that's how it did.
See the
I said
world.
a story. It was like, did that happen before or after that event? And she was like, did I know about that event? And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I'm sorry. Yeah. But okay. Now, so like, I'll answer, I think just the biblical covenant of marriage affecting my faith, loving Heather and being loved by Heather just helps me appreciate. I think you could say the reverse of this for the other side of the question.
Yeah.
But I just think it's like parenting, right? Like you can't really understand the love of a father, of the Heavenly Father, until you have been a parent, even though you can try to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the same is until you've been in a covenant marriage relationship, I don't think you can understand God's faithfulness to His people.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Hosea, like I showed up in my Roman study the other day. Hosea with Gomer, like Heather doesn't love me because I've earned it, or because I've been perfect, or because I've always been 100% faithful to her. And I don't mean in like a infidelity way. I mean, I'm not 100% faithful to my word, to my promises, to who I should be.
Yeah.
Right. But she's faithful to me because of her covenant to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah, I think about my
it
kiddos
deepens that picture.
in times that I've told them like, you're perfect to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're by far from perfect. But, And I've even had my kids say that back to me, like, I'm not perfect at all. And I'm like, but you're like the perfect gift from God to me. Like, He made you for me and you're mine, and that means that much to me. Kind of the same way in the gift of marriage. Like, that's exactly who God ordained for you to honor Him, to glorify Him ultimately. And that's the partner He chose to work in your life and work through both of your lives to honor Him.
I think it strengthens my faith in God's design. Overall, I mean, definitely for marriage, but I tell Garry this a lot. This isn't just coming out in the podcast, but I'm thankful every day that I have him as a husband, and that, we're not perfect, but we did wait, for marriage. And so we're able to tell our kids that, and how God designed that, and how that has blessed us, and how now with my testimony, I'm able to share with young women and my own children, just this is what God's design is, and I'm living God's design. And it's a perfect design, and I'm not perfect, but I do feel like it has strengthened what I believe about His Word. And, and I praise God for who He put me with. Yeah. And that I followed Him with, going back to surrendering to the ministry, not knowing what that looked like, and that I would be in the ministry, and that I am His partner in ministry, and the moves that we've made and the decisions that we've made, and just how it just all kind of trickles down. Yeah. And then you look and you're like, well, that doesn't just happen. That's what God designed and what He foreknew. And, and so I'm just thankful. And I love our marriage. Yeah. I am thankful to have it, and that Garry cooks for our family, because they probably wouldn't eat as well as they do.
Yeah.
That was a funny conversation before we went to Israel, because Heather is a good cook, but she doesn't like to cook.
Yeah.
So she tends to cook kind of the
dirties
same.
the kitchen.
So she tends to kind of cook the same few meals, and so like 2 or 3 days before I left for Israel, a couple of kids realized, like, oh no, we're gonna have spaghetti 5 times in the next 10 days.
Like, I'm still here, guys.
I relate with you.
I hear you talking.
I got this.
But it was hilarious.
I think Garrison was like, is it spaghetti every night?
No, there's tacos in there and fried rice.
Literally. The go-tos.
Yeah. And I'm more of like the explore, look
Yeah.
up recipes.
Be
And,
creative, a little more fun with it.
yeah. I like doing it, though.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of that, we're talking God's design and roles and stuff. And what does that look like for you guys? Has that been challenging as far as this is the role that I will take as husband? This is the role that I will take as wife. What does that look like? Because that can be hard for a lot of people because, first of all, you got two unique people, but also we see the design, and I think that's the perfect part about it, right? Whether it's kids or marriage, God has this perfect design, and maybe that's. But what has roles look like?
Okay, so let me frame it, and then I'll let Heather maybe
that's why
answer
you're
it.
here.
I think
I'll have the color.
I think
That's
of
your color
macro roles and micro roles.
Yeah.
I think where the Bible is very clear is like macro roles, like
cool.
federal headship. I will answer to God for how I lead our family. That doesn't mean Heather doesn't have leadership and influence. And we've said from the beginning, we've really never had to have a moment where I was like, I'm putting my foot down and I'm going against what you say because I'm the head of the home. But I do think she leans into me knowing that I'll answer to God
Right.
for how I lead our family. But then we try to lean into each other in that mutual submission that Ephesians 5 talks about. But I think there's some macro things like that. And I think, obviously the way God has designed a woman to kind of be the lead nurturer in the family by her design. There are some things that are macro things that are there. I think the micro side of things is what we've learned in our years so far is I would have never guessed when we got married that I would do the majority of the cooking. But I learned, maybe even in the last 5 or 7 years, I like it.
Yeah.
And so like I learned when I come from work, it's less stressful for me to not sit down and to start cooking and to create something and put it on the table for the kids. That's more life-giving to me than to go sit down and stare at my phone for an hour.
Yeah.
Right? So like I think there's a lot of stereotypes that the world has made for men and women that in the micro roles, you can just see how you're gifted and how you're wired. And,
Yeah, that's really cool.
So Heather, what would you say about like our roles and like if any of that has surprised you or, things like that?
I think when I went back to work full time, because I stayed at home for 10 years when all the babies were born.
All them babies.
And I did more of that because I was
That's right.
in the
That's
home
true. Oh, yeah.
all day, every day.
You were probably 90% of it then.
And I had more time for that. And then when I went back to work, it was kind of like, oh my gosh. And so it did kind of shift, but it's like, I don't know. It's weird that just how those roles fit together. We've talked about this. He
find a
does
groove?
enjoy coming home and cooking, and that's therapy for him. And I
like shopping at the store.
He
Yeah.
does. He has
I
a
like
clipboard.
making a list.
Gary's list and shopping routine. I've seen it.
Passion.
And I like
Sticky
it. Like,
notes are
Yeah.
deep.
like I saw a friend at Walmart today and she's like, what are you doing at the store? And she saw my clipboard and I'm like, I'm a nerd. I have a clipboard. I have a
This is so
clipboard
funny. I
with
do
3
Walmart
columns of
delivery.
things that I have typed in.
beautiful.
Listen, it gets worse. This is my confession in the order that I walk through the store.
Good
Because
for you.
I used to have to sit in the car and I'd have a list and Heather would get frustrated. We get to the store and I
You
would
check it
rewrite the
Yeah.
list in order when we went together and she'd get frustrated. I'm like, but if I spend 5 minutes rewriting this list, it's going to save me 30 minutes in there. So then one day I had the idea, type up a list of all the things you normally get in the order you walk and then just put a little check mark by them when you go. Brilliant.
That is brilliant.
And also
I love it.
disturbing.
And then
Awesome.
our local Walmart shifted everything around.
I just
and
had to
messed
make a
up
new
and-
one.
had to make
Yeah.
a new one.
It was
Bro,
stressful.
I left Walmart one day and I texted Trey because he's kind of like me, and I was like, I'm not okay about
Yes.
this. I'm not okay about
I
this.
used to get
cool.
upset with Gary because I would think it was my time to get out of the house, so I'd go spend 3 hours in Walmart and maybe buy 5 things.
I thought she was going to say
Right.
$3,000.
No,
but, that-
that too.
K per hour.
But then I realized it's like it's stressful. I don't want to go do the grocery shopping if he wants to do it.
Yeah.
So, after he cooks, I just come in and I clean everything up. I make sure the kids have
I make a
clean
meal list.
laundry. Yes, he makes a meal list.
Put it on the
and-
fridge, and the kids look at
Wow.
it, and then their friends say, "Can I come over for Smash Burger night?" And stuff like that.
That's awesome.
But Heather,
Check the list.
I mean, I clean very little, and I do almost no laundry. I mean, like we're sharing it. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing some things,
Yeah.
but Heather does. We've kind of got a rhythm
We
of
do.
what we do. I restock the
We
toilet
sure
paper
hope,
in all
after
the
this many
bathrooms.
years.
That's
We hope.
incredible.
It's just what I do. I don't know when I started restocking the toilet paper, But if I don't do it, it almost doesn't happen.
That makes so much sense when you see like an older couple and you go to visit them and they're just so quiet and they're not saying much to each other. It's because they've learned their roles, their micro roles, and they're just
Yes.
functioning around each other. But there's like this peace about them. There's not a lot of discussion because they've figured all that out throughout their lives, like how to serve each other
That's right.
and how they serve together to make everything go.
And I know where everything is in the house.
Yes.
So if anybody needs to know where anything is, I know where it is. They just ask me.
She
They don't
can-
ask the dad. That's a whole Nate
Nate Bargatze thing. Don't
Yeah.
ask the dad. She can find a needle in a haystack. You know,
Oh,
three
can't find
three big piles and baskets of laundry that we need to fold, and a kid panicking, and she can find it in 30 seconds. And you might as well get out the sewing machine and make a new one faster than I'm going to find it. Okay, like I mean, they're panicking. Talk to your mom. She's
Yeah.
busy. I know, but I'm not finding that blue whatever.
That's
Those
so
roles
cool.
kind of, and you may be getting to this, but those roles kind of shift in our parenting too.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of or stay the same in our parenting too. Of like, you know, our kids will say, "Well, is Dad going to get mad?" Or "Did you ask Dad?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, we already know. I'm not going out and spending thousands of dollars behind his back or buying a new car.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we already kind of know what each other says that would be great and wouldn't, you know, but." Also, just with the day to day, like who has to be the jefe for a little while and who can be more of the softie, and you know, taking on those really kind of.
I'm scared.
Oh yeah,
Rhythm of life.
it'll work
It's a
out.
rhythm
That
of
is
life.
yeah, you know
Sorry,
that as well.
intimidating.
But that is definitely kind of a back and forth thing. We kind of take turns being good cop, bad cop, and I have found that Heather is a little harder on the girls, and I'm a little harder on Garrison. And so then we kind
I
of
could see
take
that.
turns kind of intervening for the other ones. When I'm being too hard on Garrison, she'll kind of step in. And
Pull the reins.
when she's being too hard on the girls, I'll kind of step in. And
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that.
It's a dance.
You can
There's the
get
dance we were talking
you can get
about.
wounded a little bit if
Yeah.
you step in at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Hey, I would
Come
like
in
to
ducking.
share that we had a meltdown of epic proportions on Sunday night. Now I will not to protect the innocent, mainly the 4 children.
It's like a family meltdown.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was a family
But like,
meltdown
think
for
about
sure.
this. Like, I don't know why I didn't see this
Group
coming.
project?
But we had hosted the 12th grade girls at our house for D-Now. Our children had all been at D-Now all weekend, so there was like a combined 8 hours of sleep for 4 children over 2 nights. Like, they're averaging a half hour sleep a
Collective
night.
exhaustion.
And we thought this would go well, right? Like, and so they got a little bit of naps that afternoon. We went out for Brinley's birthday dinner on Sunday night. We went to Sherman, went to Cheddar's, and it was pretty fun. A little bit of, and we get home and like, I mean, we had a couple girls working on homework, deadlines at midnight for college, and then we had this and that, you know, and Brinley wanting everything to be focused on her for her birthday, and
Getting ready for the school week.
and then Heather and let me just tell you, and we had some people kind of getting over sickness, and man, it was just like the 6 of us took turns being impatient and unreasonable and loud.
Yeah.
And it may have resulted in me stomping off and sitting in the garage in my car for about 7 minutes.
I hate you guys.
I said, I'm
I
leaving.
gotta take a breather.
I don't know where yet, but at least to my car.
Bye.
Oh,
Just
it's
teasing
working
at
Harrison
us.
comes out and looks in the garage, and
Like, what's going on?
he didn't hear. He wasn't in the living room when it happened, and then I stomped off, and anyway, I come inside, and then we stayed up late smoothing that one out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a perfect storm.
Yeah. Yeah. You just your physical
We were
needs
fine.
being met. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was no bleed over, but it would have been comical to have on film.
Which reminds me, when we first got married, we talked about agreeing that we would not go to bed mad.
Yeah.
And we
good.
have stuck with that, 4 years?
I was gonna ask how long y'all been married. Y'all didn't even say.
I think we just
It
celebrated
will
23.
It will
December
be
2002.
24 in December.
Sneaking
Okay.
up on 25. That's so cool.
And so there's been a couple of times probably that I've gone to bed and I'm just like, "Arr,"
Yeah,
you
you
know,
don't
but I'm
feel-
like, it just doesn't sit well. Neither one of us can really go to sleep and get good sleep knowing that there's turmoil.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
a couple kids go to their room and just, I'm tired and I'm over it. And I had everybody come back in, and we watched an episode of Henry Danger
There you go.
at 11:30
Some common
on a
ground.
school night. Like, we went to bed way late, but we were all calmed down and had all chuckled a little bit and hugged and prayed and went to
That's
bed.
good.
So, I think one kind of thing I'm discovering here is that in marriage, there's going to be times where you are not agreeing with your spouse or anybody in your family, really, and there's just like things that might happen. but it's never worth coming between. It's never worth letting anything come between you, you know? Because like at times, like if I might feel a little anger or something like that in life, like towards my spouse, usually if I actually take the time to think about it, I might just squash it right there because it's not like it's stupid most of the time. So like there's no point,
your
like,
battle, this ain't one.
and I think there's probably something to say about unselfishness there. I guess it's being unselfish, you know.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, it's sacrificing. It's caring more about someone else than you do yourself, and that's really what that is. But
Amen.
But yeah, so on that though, I wanted to ask Garry, could you spend a couple minutes tapping into some of the stuff you share with couples during like marriage counseling and some of the stuff you share during that time, or even at weddings?
Well, let me just say this real quick. When church members or sometimes even community members, you know, who don't have a church home, come to me and ask me to sit down and kind of essentially what you are as a mediator, you know. I'm not a licensed professional counselor. I give biblical counsel, and I've sat down with a lot of people with marriage struggles and tried to help them. But so there's some level of experience there. But essentially, you're a mediator and you're a listener, and then you try to share some things. But what I generally do is, as I start to talk to them, I realize what would help them the most is I just take them through the pre-marriage counseling that I take a brand new couple through, because they don't have those principles in their mind. Right. So a lot of times I ask, can we just start like we're doing your wedding in 6 months, even if they've been married 20 years, you know? And so essentially, you know, I'll give two sets of things and I'll try to do them really fast. I was given a book before I got married called Marriage on the Rock that revolutionized my view on marriage. I would say that Tim Keller's book on marriage, I think Paul David Tripp has one. There's a lot of good ones out there. There's a lot of good books on marriage out there that are probably theologically higher than this book, ranked in this book. This is a very practical book that takes Genesis 2:24 and 25, every wedding that I've ever preached, and I've even preached sermons here on it, that have these 4 P laws that come from Genesis 2:24 and 25. And so I would tell every couple, basically, the law of priority, your spouse needs to be your highest earthly priority. Next to God, your spouse has to be your highest priority in life for marriage to work, including kids and anything else. And that comes from man shall leave his father and mother, right? Genesis 2:24 and 25. The law of pursuit, your fulfillment and duration of your marriage, duration and fulfillment of your marriage will directly correspond with how you pursue each other's hearts. And then that's cleave, right? And then the law of possession, right? The two shall become one flesh. That we don't have anything separate. There's no dreams, there's no baggage, there's no money, there's no possessions, there's no kid raising, there's no careers. Nothing is separate. It's all wrapped into one or it doesn't work. And then the law of purity. They were both naked and they felt no shame. Genesis 2:25. So like I would say use that as a grid and a matrix to constantly evaluate your marriage. Is my spouse my highest earthly priority? Are we pursuing each other's hearts? Are we living as if we have nothing separate, but the two lives have become one? And then are we pursuing purity in thought, action, word, and deed, according to the covenant with God? And then, so that's the first little bundle, I would say. I'm so grateful that book, that my friend made me read that book and stuff, because it's framed anyone that comes to me. It's like a diagnostic computer that you plug your car in to see what's wrong with the engine. I use Genesis 2:24 and 25 and Ephesians 5 to try to help see if we can see what's really giving them trouble.
Because everything can come back to those 2 verses.
Everything can.
Yeah.
I've not found anything that doesn't fit in there somewhere. And I'm not just saying this as a Jesus joke, because it's what the Lord laid out at the beginning. I mean, he gave us the blueprint. When he gave us Adam and Eve.
That's cool.
Right? So good enough for them. Good enough for me. The second thing I would say is the 3 reasons that we have to fight for our marriages is you made a covenant with God. You made a covenant with your spouse. So I have to, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm feeling, I got to get it by the Lord, first of all. And a lot of the things that culture tells us and that we start thinking in selfish modes, we can't get it by the Lord. I mean, we made a covenant with him. We made a covenant with our spouse, right? Like I want to honor Heather in everything that I do, and ultimately, and then the third one is very, very pragmatic. And that's how I tell people. I've counseled with way too many people who have ended up getting divorced, and there's not one of those couples, if there weren't biblical grounds, that comes back and says, I'm super thrilled that I did that. So, like, if there were biblical grounds.
Talking about the divorce.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, if there was infidelity or desertion, or even physical abuse, something, if there's grounds, then, yes, some people say, like, my mother needed to get away from my dad before he killed her physically, right? She's glad she did that. If they're not biblical grounds and it's based on other things that may be serious things, but they're not biblical grounds, there's just not been anybody come back who go, that's better.
Right.
As it relates to how it's affected them, their children. So I don't want to put that on the same level as your covenant with God or your covenant with people, but I think it's important to say.
Right.
Right? When the enemy's trying to steal. That is something that I say to couple after couple after couple, praying that will resonate.
That's good.
So
It's
Yeah, that's
encouraging.
good.
okay.
What is the do you have a throw pillow that says something on
Yeah.
it? Tell us about the throw pillow.
Got it.
It's choose thy love, love
Love
thy
that
choice.
choice.
Did you say got it? Did you have it?
I knew it, yeah.
That sticks with people.
Oh, for sure.
That people repeat that a lot.
Choose that
Throw
love, love that
Ryan
choice.
said that at our wedding. Not exactly that, but that.
Yeah, but that.
Yeah.
I think he just
Choose
said
love,
your
yeah.
instead of thy, but it was
Sums it up.
that.
Choose your love your choice.
I
Yeah,
told some high
absolutely.
school kids that the other day.
I'm
I'm
doing
like, obviously you're not getting
It's
married.
so good.
I'm
It's
doing
so
3
good.
weddings in May, 1 in June, 1 in September, 1 in December. And I will say that at all 6 of them.
Yeah.
And I will say the 4 laws from Genesis 2, 24 and 25. That's how much I believe in those principles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, love hearing y'all talk because like you're obviously like way further down the road, and so like the micro roles, I think that's all like really like I just love hearing it. So I'm like,
coming.
like I don't know, just like getting to know your spouse better and better. Like sometimes I'm like I feel like we know each other so well because we've been together for 10 years, and like really. Like there's so much more to learn, and you change so much over time, and your circumstances
Your life
change, your
situation
life
changes.
changes.
Yeah.
We don't do pre-marriage counseling with people trying to teach them how to take care of their aging parents when they're 20.
Exactly.
It's a different life stage.
Well, that's literally that's what I was thinking when you were saying that, because like, I mean, like, like having kids is like a huge life change that like we were married for 5 years before we had kids, and then like
Right.
boom, we're in a different like phase of life, and then like losing my dad, like that's just not something that like you're not thinking of that like in premarital counseling. You're not
Yeah, you
like,
don't see
well,
that
when I
dating.
lose my dad suddenly,
Tell me how that
what's
goes,
he gonna
yeah.
be like? You know what I mean? Like, but like I obviously like saw his character and how he loved the Lord, and
Yeah.
I didn't know all these things are gonna happen, but it's like choose your love. Be smart about that, obviously. Like run that by the Lord and by people you love, because it makes it easier to love your choice at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter how easy it is to love your choice, because you're going to do it because the Lord said to do it. And I want to say I'm just thankful that I feel like really like I'm not saying it's been easy, because it hasn't been easy. Like life is so hard.
Life is hard.
Life has been so hard. Like, I'm not trying to, no pity party, but honestly, in the last 3 years, life has been really hard. We've had 2 kids and lost my dad, and that's just a lot to happen in a small amount of time. And during that time, I'm so grateful that I married who I married, and that the Lord gave me him. The Lord is the whole reason that we're here. He's given me all of this, despite what I probably deserve, which is nothing. He's given me my salvation. He's given me my husband, and I think that it's encouraging to hear from somebody further down the road,
absolutely.
because like he continues to sustain your marriage, and it's like doesn't matter how hard life gets. Like I don't know, I'm just really grateful for my spouse, because the Lord knew what I needed better than I did, and He knew what was going to befall me in life, and He gave me a life partner, and that's why it's important that, like you're saying, like I honor that covenant. And that's my top priority on the earth, like on this earth.
Yeah,
I
it's got to
totally
be.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you young ones thinking about marriage, consider the covenant, how whoever you're considering treats their covenant with the Lord, and then maybe
Yes.
a picture of how they treat a covenant in marriage.
Yep.
Amen.
That's pretty encouraging.
Awesome. So yeah, it's been very encouraging to me. That's all
Awesome.
I had to say.
And so with that, we want to thank Garry and Heather for being with us today and recording a marriage episode on the podcast with us. We hope this was beneficial to you guys. And with that, now go and make disciples of all nations.